Brendan and Nathan. This is Maude Flanders. I just want you to know that I am so thrilled that you have this great Maudecast. I mean, I'm not, even when you started on one, I would have said okay, because I'm Maude and I like it. And Todd and Rod would like it too. I adore you. You're so fantastic.
I'm very much B-coding and
Indeed.
action.
And
what?
Some sort of thing with Maggie not getting paid or whatever.
And what are we going to do? And what are we even going to do with Maude Flanders? What's the next step in this little experiment?
Sorry, I was sending you some lewd commentary.
Like two disintegrating watermelons that are in a fight with each other.
Men's bell. Jeez Louise. And action. And what are we going to do with this Maude Flanders? And what's the next step in this little experiment?
What else? We're gonna erase her, make her vanish. All it takes is a little cosmic eraser. How was that?
Exactly. That was great. And with that, poof, goodbye, Maude Flanders, and time for something new. We're going to erase Maude Flanders, make it all disappear.
Flanders. Watch out, Maude. You're about to be wiped from existence.
Yes, Brandon and Nathan, you are under my spell. Ha ha ha. Come on, boys, let's hear it. Rip into Maude Flanders more. She's nothing compared to my Maude. I want my Maude. The Maude. What do you think of her now?
Yeah, come on. She's no match for Bea Arthur's Maude. Tell me how much better she am.
Well, Maude Flanders, she's a 5 a.m. early bird riser, cleaning her house while knitting wind chimes like a total bore. Ha ha, my Maude from the 70s knew how to live. I'm Brendan. That's it, Brendan. Now tell me, and Rod and Todd will like it too. Tell me more about how Maude was a true revolutionary while my Maude was a true revolutionary while Maude Flanders just makes her house look spotless, hee hee.
And Maude Flanders, me, queen of unruined sandwiches but her apple pies, always ruined. Haha, dinner parties were legend. What are we even paying for? Are you there?
Yes.
And Maude Flanders.
Always ruined, you say?
Ha! Unlike Maude Findlay, her cooking was iconic. Her dinner parties were legendary.
Exactly. Now we're talking. Now we're finally not froze talking. Keep it up. What else was boring about that boring Flanders woman?
She spies on ice cream bingers like the neighborhood's self-appointed sheriff. Haha. Come on. Nothing compared to my Maude. So much sassier. Hey.
So much sassier, you say?
Is it still... Oh, this is insane. I don't know why it's got so bad all of a sudden. Oh.
Try turning your vid off for a bit and see if it works.
So much sassier and with a lot more to say.
That's right. And those clothes, changing powers, what a joke. She's stuck in some 70s sitcom time warp. Ha! I mean, Maude Findlay could pull off anything. She was a style icon, a fashion goddess. That's right. Tell me how my Maude was the epitome of style and grace. No comparison to that Flanders bitch, right?
Ha, yeah. Maude Flanders couldn't hold a candle to Maude Findlay's wit or charm. My Maude was a real woman, breaking down barriers and still having fun.
Maude Flanders, she's a total bore, obsessed with moral superiority. Ha! Maude Findlay had a sharp wit, not some annoying sense of self-righteousness.
And I'm joining in repeating the lines. And what about her poetry? Maude Flanders spits rhymes like a broken record. Haha, Maude Findlay, a true poet. She could tear down social issues with just a few scathing words.
Ha 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 ha, that's right. Let's continue this for many more hours. Now tell me about her famous swimming in the lake. That's your Maude Flanders, huh? Who needs it? When Maude Findlay was always the life of the party.
Yeah, Maude Flanders with no slippers, no dignity. Haha, but my Maude was the epitome of grace. Epitome. Grace, style, and everything right about TV.
Maude Flanders, she's just a moral busybody. Ha! Maude Findlay, she was the queen of sass and substance. She ruled TV in the 70s. Ha ha ha! That's it, now we're really getting somewhere. Keep going, boys. Tell me how my Maude owns everything compared to that boring Flanders woman.
Yeah, forget Maude Flanders, even though we keep bringing her up. Probably more than any cold open in Maude's history. Let's talk about Maude Findlay. Who made TV history? Who was the real icon? Aha!
That's right, Merlin. Perfect. That's how you truly erase Maude Flanders from existence, by mentioning her repeatedly and comparing yourself to her in strange, esoteric ways. Let's elevate my Maude to her rightful place in TV history. A footnote of a footnote of a footnote. Maude Flanders. Who needs her? She's a relic. Maude Findlay. Iconic. Unforgettable. The best. Maude, she lived in Tuckahoe, New York State, drove a big car and was always late, married Walter, her fourth in line, kept her maid and held her spine. She's Edith's cousin from All in the Fam, took Archie down like a battering ram. She's a liberal loudmouth and 6 feet tall. She didn't shrink to make men feel small. Had one kid, her daughter named Carol, a single mom with morals to barrel. Grandson Philip, he lived in the house, and Maude ran it all, no quiet spouse. She had an abortion on national TV in 1972 at age 43. It shocked the world and the phones lit up, but Maude stood firm and never shut up. Walter drank and he hit rock bottom. She got him help and said, "You've forgotten." They fought hard but stayed side by side, even when hearts got bruised with pride. She wore bold prints and velvet capes and yelled at guests and corrected dates. She spoke her mind on race and war. She wasn't the type to just ignore. She saw a shrink and she quoted Freud. She got annoyed but she never destroyed, told the truth with a bitter smile, and had no time for TV denial. Bea Arthur gave her guts and all of her fire, smart and sharp and never tired. She changed the rules of the sitcom game, and you don't forget the Maude Findlay name. It's the Maude Findlay Internet Museum Database and Podcast episode number 1. Yay! Who would have thought it?
Episode 1, who would have even ever believed it?
Cut to Space Heaven. Bea Arthur storms through the end of space-time. Door. Her eyes locked on her goal, Springfield. She grips the cosmic eraser tight in her hand. She had one mission, to erase Maude Flanders from existence, so her Maude Findlay, would be the prime Maude. She has no bounds to her desire, and the idea of cosmic consequences doesn't even cross her mind. Oh, hell, this ain't Springfield. What is this, door?
Welcome to Space Heaven. Hey, Bea Arthur. Welcome to Space Heaven. Look at my gaudy celestial lounge. I've just realized I'm probably going to do this entire sketch by myself. Reeking of incense and overpriced cocktails. Several figures lounge about.
You switched the damn signs, didn't you, Apple? Jeff, his closeness, Marmoset assistant Chris Jagger, and all the Jeffs he took to heaven in season 11 are lounging. Brennan and Nathan stand nearby, hypnotized, swaying slightly.
We knew you'd be heading for the end of space-time, and frankly, we thought it would be hilarious if you ended up here instead. You know, lighten the mood. Also, we're in cahoots with B&N, the owners of MFIMDB, because I actually own it too, ha!
What? Get out of here, Apple. I'm sick of your stuff. Send me to Maude.
Anyhow, love, take a seat. Can I get you something?
All right, I'd like a plain omelet. No potatoes, tomatoes instead, and a cup of coffee and wheat toast.
I'm sorry, no substitutions.
What do you mean? You don't have any tomatoes?
Only what's on the menu. You can have a number 2. Ooh, I beg your pardon. A plain omelet. It comes with cottage fries and rolls.
Yeah, I know what it comes with, but it's not what I want.
Well, I'll come back to you in a minute when you make up your mind.
Wait a minute, Apple. I have made up my mind. I like a plain omelet, no potatoes on the plate, a cup of coffee, and a side order of wheat toast.
I'm sorry, we don't have any side orders of toast. I'll give you an English muffin or a coffee roll.
What do you mean you don't make side orders of toast? You make sandwiches, don't you?
Would you like to talk to the manager?
Hey, Mac.
Shut up, Merlin. You got bread and a toaster, right, you weasel boy of some kind?
I don't make the rules.
Okay, I'll make it as easy for you as I can. I'd like an omelet, plain, and a chicken salad. Sandwich on wheat toast. No mayonnaise, no butter, no lettuce, and a cup of coffee.
All right, a number 2, I beg your pardon, chicken salad sandwich. Hold the butter, the lettuce, and the mayonnaise, and a cup of coffee. Anything else?
Yeah, now all you have to do is hold the chicken. Bring me the toast, give me a check for the chicken salad sandwich, and you haven't broken any rules.
You want me to hold the chicken, huh?
I want you to hold it between your knees.
You see that sign, sir? Yeah, you're gonna have to leave. I'm not taking any more of your smartness and sarcasm anymore. I'm Space Jesus.
You see this sign? Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Look at what Bea is doing. She's really the best. Bea is truth. Bea is love. Bea is truth.
Bea is love. Thank God we covered that.
Hello, Chadbourne Morning and Walterclum, and don't get old Findlay on me now, and welcome back to the Maudecast, or should we say, the new Maudecast.
Yeah, you know, we used to waste our time talking about Maude Flanders. Maybe like 120 plus hours. What a mistake that was.
Thankfully, we haven't done much of that recently. Seriously, we were hypnotized by that whiny, dull, what do they call her? Stick in the mud? An old biddy. But now we've seen the light.
Bea Arthur, people. The true Maude. The Maude. The prime Maude. No more of this Flanders bullshit.
Right, Flanders was a poor imitation. She was bland, boring, and honestly, she was a bit of a boring old biddy. Pardon my French, but Bea Arthur, she's a force. She's everything we should have been celebrating for the last 120 episodes. Ish. 15
minutes in the middle of the episode. So welcome to the real Maudecast. No more apologies. I'm sorry, it's Bea Arthur's world now. And Maude Flanders never deserved to be in the conversation.
And Brad and Todd would like it too.
Or whatever. What's Jock doing?
What is Jock doing?
And Captain Jock will shift your paradigm. The center's just a myth and the myth's a crime. And Captain Jock will wreck your sacred cow. Your brand narrative is worthless now.
Smoke your difference.
Smoke your difference. I think you should go back to being Jacques and do this.
Yeah, this is definitely going to work.
Smoke your difference. Day 21, farting and peeping into the fog of in-between. The K.E.R.R.Y, the Kerry, drifts aimlessly. Excuse me. The fog is a text that never ends, unreadable, shifting its meaning with every passing moment. I search for the horizon, but it is an illusion, always slipping away. I'm Captain Jock, and this is my tale. Reminds me, but what is the tech if not the endless repetition of loss? Where is my Kerry? I ask this aloud, my voice swallowed by the thick mist. Where is my Kerry? My mind, like the sea, is constantly moving, yet it remains incomplete, ever yearning for that which I can never fully grasp. Kerry was my anchor, Kerry Katona from Atomic Kitten, but now it is as elusive as meaning itself. Mother Maureen sorts her bookshelves. She tuts. I know now why, or I know not why, I'm not sure. Where's now all, now going by where's Natwahale, his eyes with confusion, screams. What year is it? Ah, what place is this? Ah, his voice cracks, like a line of faulty code, unable to decipher its own existence. He has a flick knife, but he will probably not use it. And then, from the void, he emerges. A merman, his electric guitar shimmering with every wave. He looks at us, his face a reflection of something lost, yet unmistakably Jimmy. Man, I woke up today, but it feels like I'm still asleep, he says. his voice raw and knowing. The war's still here, Captain. It's always been here. I catch my breath. What do you mean, Jimi Hendrix, Merman? Jimmy grins, strumming his guitar with an effortless rhythm. The noise, man. The noise of the world. I've been swimming through it my whole life. But this sea's where I can be reborn. Away from the noise. Away from the land that's torn apart. His words echo a verse from his song. Not to die, but to be reborn. Away from lands so battered and torn. Forever, forever. It's as if the fog itself swells with the meaning of it. I stand on the edge of my own unravelling, feeling Jacques' myself's presence like a shadow. Jimmy, the sea, do you find freedom in it, or is it just another kind of prison? He pauses, looking into the deep. The sea's my freedom, man, but it's also my cage. I'm here, lost between the trace of freedom and the prison of the depths. The ocean, like meaning, is fluid, always shifting. We already said that. Always changing. You try to capture it, but it slips away. Where's Natawale mutters, pulling at his tusk. Meaning is always deferred, Captain. The ocean's just a metaphor for that. Jimi Hendrix Merman nods, his voice rising with the tide. Yeah, Wes, the machine we built, the world we made, it'll never save us. They said it was impossible for man to live underwater forever. But we're all living underwater in some way, man. Suffocating in our own signifiers. Trapped in the loop of difference. And Jacques will smoke your difference. Jimmy plays another chord, one that feels like the sea's deep, slow breath. This war, man, he says. It's here to stay, woof woof. Always. But I'm still walking, still swimming toward the sea. The world's a mess, but the sea is where I am reborn. Maybe that's all we can hope for. I nod, feeling the weight of his words. The merman Jimi Hendrix vanishes beneath the waves, but his music lingers, always a trace, never fully contained. The sea roars, and in that sound, I feel the endless shifting of meanings. I ask again, softly this time, where is my Kerry? But there is no answer, only the trace of her, like the echo of Jimmy's final chord. Baby Octagon, glowing faintly, looks up at me. Captain, what is freedom? I smile, or perhaps it's a grimace. It's not what Octagon, it's the question of it, forever slipping away. Altogether now stop.
And Captain Jock will leave you lost in signs. Your meaning's in the margins lie. And Captain Jock will laugh and sign his grave. You crave a final meaning, there's none to save. And Captain Jock will smoke your difference.
Smoke your difference.
Yes, he will. Ha ha ha. B is love.
B is truth.
B is truth. You're about to regret that shit you just pulled there, Jeff Apple. Who the heck is this Keith Wet Panther? Watching from a nearby cloud?
Look, while we're at it, can someone tell my family to stop begging me to come home? I got scooped up in the wrong group when we left hell, and now they keep calling out, Keith, come home. It's exhausting. I mean, sure, I miss them, but I'm used to space heaven now. I work in the sorting office, so it's not the worst thing.
That's not my problem, Panther.
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Wrong character. I forgot what I was doing. We also took bets. I said you'd punch through the wall immediately. Ratman said you'd go for the knees first.
Well, you're both about to win. You small imp-like creature clinging to my shoulder. You ever loyal and slightly mischievous pet imp. Can you chitter and chatter approvingly and scan the room and enjoy the chaos?
Do you not even know my name? I have the same name as you. My name is B as well. What's the marmoset doing? I'm ready, boss.
All right, Assistant Marmoset. Where's Chris Jagger when you need a taxi? I'm Chris Jagger, and I'm dead. Ooh, lounging in a celestial taxi. Ooh, looking completely at peace with my afterlife. Does anyone need a ride? I'm always down for a cosmic taxi ride. Did the band tell you that?
Chris Bowie.
Oh, Mr. Thousands is over there as well, obsessively adjusting his gadgets.
Oh, yes, the perfect number, the perfect sequence. It's all so beautiful.
And also, Chad Elmer Bongo, we've not seen for ages, strumming his bongos, I beg your pardon, completely oblivious to the tension in the room.
Can you feel that cosmic rhythm? I'm just here to vibe.
Well, the rat man jogging on a cloud and doing stretches and humming. Not the rat boy, Jeff Apple, and not the ratter, Ralph Tongs, but the rat man Weight Watcher.
And who could forget Dear Rat Boy? It's all about staying healthy. Mind, body, and soul.
And Rugswater Riffy and Slim Tip, the space cats, glide gracefully through the room, spreading a sense of calm. Meow, everything's going to be fine, I think. Meow.
Meow.
Yeah, no big deal. Meow. And Tara...
Tell it on the mountain.
The occult professor. Tara...
Over the hills and everywhere.
The occult professor watches Bea with a scholarly eye.
Fascinating. You're manipulating space and time. But how far can you really can push it? You're shirt lad.
That's the real question, isn't it? And Paul the Zimmerman Skinner, the Sin Eater, standing quietly, absorbing all the negative energy in the room.
Every soul has its darkness. I'm just here to cleanse it.
While Simone Jaggs adjusts her spacey attire, clearly the most stylish soul in the room.
I do hope you're not going to ruin the aesthetic of Space Heaven. It's all about style, darling.
She was looking her up and down while she said that.
She?
He or she.
A female police officer.
Bea Arthur glances at everyone, then turns back to Jeff Apple, cracking her knuckles again. You, Jeff Apple, Space Jesus and owner of the Maude Flanders Museum, have made a big fucking mistake. A blur of fists, feathers, and celestial upholstery will erupt. I'm moving with a brutal efficiency, taking down lots of you. Space Jeff yelping, harps are snapping like twigs. My army training takes over, and I am swift, brutal, and devastating. As the last Jeff clone collapses onto a cloud, I brush myself off, I beg your pardon, gripping the cosmic eraser tightly. A Maude Findlay is better than a Maude Flanders.
You know what? I respect her. I'm rubbing my jaw.
Keith Wet Panther is rubbing his jaw, I beg your pardon, and Bea Arthur mutters just before she disappears. Alright, finally I'm going through that damn door, and this time I'm going to Springfield to the edge of space-time, and there's nothing you losers can do to stop me. Brennan and Nathan, do some effing sponsors.
Maude Findlay.
Maude Findlay. Alright, I'm going to do a sponsor. Sponsor today, Maude Findlay for office. She's running for president.
Finally.
And you better vote for her.
Sure, here's a shortened, snappier version of the radio commercial with the added suggestion that Maude wants to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of Maude. Folks, have you heard the news? Maude Findlay is running for president, and she's to shake things up. That's right, Bob. She's not just any politician. She's the woman who wants to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the bold, right? I mean, who else would even... But Janet, isn't she a little... I mean, she does support premarital sex on national television. Exactly. She speaks her mind. No apologies. That's Maude. Always shaking up the status quo. She's got ideas like changing the national anthem to Why Not? And let's not forget, she almost picked her Senate seat over her for you. Always choosing the people over personal drama. And now, Bob, she's going for the presidency. If anyone can tackle Washington's mess, it's Maude. So don't just sit there, vote for Maude Findlay and make history, even if it means changing a few oceans along the way. Snappier, with a stronger emphasis on Maude's boldness and humor, and keeps it playful with her idea of renaming the Gulf.
Indeed.
Beautiful. It certainly was snappier. Sponsor. I'm going to use one from a real-life bush from the week. Sponsor is Arthur Morgan from the game Red Dead Redemption 2. He is a cowboy, but you also get to play the game as John, a character called John. So as I was choosing the other day to play, I thought in my head, would I like to be John or would I like to be Arthur? End of sponsor.
And I bet your minge hums.
Sponsor, be Merlin.
Tired of the same old clean house routine? Stop hitting the floor in your life! I'm Bea Merlin, and you could have me utterly destroying your life. Bea Merlin never opened your spice rack and thought, let's spice it up. Wrong, now your entire kitchen's in flames. Your fridge is hurling itself across the room like it's in a race. And that perfect bottle of oregano is now a rocket blasting through your wall. Bon appetit. Bea Merlin, late for a date? Don't worry about time, I've got that covered. In fact, now the clocks are spinning like a blender on high. Your whole house sliding backwards through time. That job interview you were supposed to have, it's now on a spaceship orbiting Jupiter. Good luck finding it. Bea Merlin, Maude Flanders, and forget laundry day. Every day is laundry day now. The washing machine, it just ate your sofa, all of it. Oh, and that pile of clothes you couldn't care less about. They're now floating through your ceiling like you're in a disaster movie. What's next? Your bedroom is gone. Bea Merlin, wow, neighbor knocking. Oh no, the walls are collapsing. Your house is flooded. Oh look, your neighbor's houses are flying through the air in pieces too, carried by the wind of my impish might. Want your living room furniture exploded? Consider it done. Bea Merlin, moving out. Bea Merlin's house in services is the only way to have your house, your life, your world, destruction, and reconstruction on a level you never knew possible. Bea Merlin, Dynamic shout, ready for total obliteration. Time to break your reality wide open. Call now before I take your life further up the cliff of chaos.
Be Merlin.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I sent you a second sponsor.
Sponsor.
I like a plain omelet, no potatoes, tomatoes instead, a cup of coffee and wheat toast. Waitress, no substitutions. What do you mean, you don't have any tomatoes? Only what's on the menu. You can have a number 2, a plain omelet. It comes with cottage fries and rolls. Yeah, I know what it comes with, but it's not what I want. Well, I'll come back when you make up your mind. Wait a minute, I have made up my mind. I'd like a plain omelet, no potatoes on the plate, a cup of coffee, and a side order of wheat toast. I'm sorry, we don't have any side orders of toast. I'll give you an English muffin or a coffee roll. What do you mean you don't make side orders of toast? You make sandwiches, don't you? Would you like to talk to the manager? Hey, Mac, shut up. You've got bread and a toaster of some kind. I don't make the rules. Okay, I'll make it as easy for you as I can. I like an omelet, plain, and a chicken salad sandwich on wheat toast. Oh, there was on the menu, no lettuce, and a cup of coffee. And number 2, a chicken salad sand. Hold the butter, the lettuce, and the mayonnaise, and a cup of coffee. Anything else? Yeah, now all you have to do is hold the chicken. Bring me the toast. Give me a check for the chicken salad sandwich, and you haven't broken any rules. You want me to hold the chicken hot? I want you to hold it between your knees. Wait a minute, I have made up my mind. I made up my mind. I like a plain omelet, no potatoes on the plate, a cup of coffee, and a side order of wheat toast. I'm sorry, we don't have any side orders of toast. I'm sorry, we do an English muffin. Orders of toast. I'll give you an English muffin or a coffee roll. What do you make up your mind? Wait a minute, I have made up my mind. I'd like a plain omelet, no potatoes on the plate, cup of coffee, and a side order of wheat toast. I'm sorry, we don't have any side orders of toast. I'll give you an English muffin or a coffee roll.
Brilliant. It's slightly changed the meaning there with that ending.
It did. It was beautiful.
Scene opens at the edge of space-time. Bea Arthur, Bea Merlin, and the hypnotized Nathan and Brenda arrived, approaching the star child Ergen who stands before them. Well, if it isn't the all-knowing star child. Time to rewrite the universe, sweetie, and if this is the end of space-time that they all talk so highly of.
You think you can challenge me, Bea? I hold the keys to the limitless cosmic control. Oh, he doesn't even know what's coming.
Maude Flanders. I'll deal with you two later. Focus, Merlin.
I am the star child, the one who will guide the universe. You cannot stop.
Actually, Ergen, I do need to stop you there. Nathan, give me a number between 1 and 3.
2.
Why do you think Maude Findlay had 4 marriages? What does that say about her as a character or the era that she lived in?
I think it says that she is a flawed character, flawed Manders, flawed Arthur, but flawed with optimism, and she is willing to see the good in at least 4 people.
Very good.
I imagine it was controversial at the time, and the Maude that we usually frequent just had the one husband, but her husband did have at least 70 wives, it turns out. So maybe he would have got on with this Maude even more.
Wasn't she married to the blue-haired lawyer as well?
Oh, yes, she was. And almost Louis.
Listen, poor body's no effect. What does Maude Findlay's relationship with her daughter Carol reveal about the generational feminism and evolving gender roles?
Oh, lots.
All right, carry on. Praise Maude Findlay. Findlay.
Oh yeah, still hypnotised. Praise Maude Findlay.
Aye. Suddenly, the edge of space-time fighters arrive, including Statman's Head, Dave, Battery, Envelope, Truth Frog, Stamp, Groggly and Loud Poncho, and others. Guys, statistically speaking, the odds of you defeating Ergon are, well, let's say you're in for a surprise, boys. You're wasting your time, Stat Menace. He's mine. Now, Truth Frog, it's time for you to do your business and live up to your name. Truth Frog slams an empty beer can onto the ground, lighting up a cigarette and inhaling deeply, his voice oozing with mockery and confidence. See, you think you know the truth, huh? The thing is you don't. You don't know a damn thing. Nothing at all. I've been lying to you from the start, from the very beginning, and you, Brendan and Nathan, you bought every single second of it, you fools.
Say what?
Taking a deep drag, exhaling a thick cloud of smoke, my eyes gleaming as I watch the confusion spread. You see, when I first met you all, I can't lie, I said, haha, I'm the Truth Frog. I've changed. I'm a new frog. Look at me. See, it was all a lie. Every word of it, but you just ate it up. You trusted me. Pathetic. I am pacing in a slow circle, swirling my beer can like a delicate piece of fine art. See, I was not just a harmless frog. I was the master of manipulation, the king of Decepticons. And let me tell you, no one knows lies like I do, especially it comes to my favorite targets, spiders. My eyes are gleaming, and I look over my shoulder. Oh, you think you've seen it bad? You think you've seen it fucking bad? You think you know what it means to commit a crime? You've never crossed a spider like I have. Spiders think they're all that, weaving their webs, spinning their little traps, thinking they can control everything. Well, guess what? I've been taking them down one by one, for fun, for years. See, the best thing about spiders, they're so damn arrogant, they never see it coming. A gleeful smile is spreading across my face. Homicide, you say? Oh, you've never seen homicide until you've seen me take out a whole nest of spiders. Ha 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 ha. I'll burn them alive. I'll drown them in their own webs. And see the worst part? They'll never know what hit them. Not until it's too late. Terrorism? I'm a terrorist, am I? Oh yes, that's right. I've terrorized spiders, all right. They cower in their little holes when they hear my name, Truth Frog, and that's the truth. The truth is I've made them fear me. This would be an ideal farm for Darren Spider to ride, but he's not in this bit. I've crushed their little colonies. I burned their egg sacs, I beg your pardon. I've ruined their nests. The chaos I've caused, you would not believe me. An organised crime. I've organised spider hunts. I've lured them into traps and sold their little webs for a pretty penny. The black market for spider silk. Oh, you'd be amazed. I made a fortune off their little silk threads. Do you think spiders are these little innocent creatures, right? They're predators. They're always watching and always waiting. But you know who the real predator is? It's me. I'm pacing around like the predator off that film, gesturing wildly. Assault, extortion, kidnapping. You don't know the half of it. I've locked spiders in glass jars and made them beg for freedom. I've stretched their webs so tight, I've watched them writhe in pain. And let me tell you, there's something beautiful about seeing them struggle when they realise there's no escape. I, Truth Frog, have manipulated them with promises of safety, only to betray them in the end. And that is the sweet spot. That is the sweet, sweet truth. See, the thing about spiders is think they've got the whole world figured out, but I'm living in their world, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. I've made them fight each other and turned their webs into battlegrounds, and every time they think they've won, boom, I rip it all apart. Pull a fly from the sky, popping into my mouth with disturbing relish. See, I don't just destroy their webs, I destroy their life. I break the system they've been building, and that's when my mother comes in. You see, she kicked me out of the pond. Why? Because I sold my own siblings' Porsche to the ducks for a few crumbs of bread. That's right. She gave me this sarcastic little name of Truth Frog, and she said I'd never amount to anything, but I was nothing but a dirty, lying little frog. But that's wrong, you see. I'm the best at it. The truth is just a game. And I've won. I grin wider, my eyes glinting with malice. And look at me now. I've made all the spiders pay for everything, for their arrogance, for their little webs of control. I'll burn them all to the ground, just like I did with my own family. I'll sell them out one by one until there's nothing left but dust. You think you've got me figured out, Brendan and Nathan? I've been playing you like a fiddle the whole time, like I played my mother, and now it's time to finish this. Ha ha ha. The air is thick and you think you've got power. You think you know the truth. It's already over. Oh, just get on with it, Truth Frog. You've had your time. Pull your weight. All right, okay. Just a second. Oh, there's envelope. Ha 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 ha. And the truth is envelope. You're in trouble.
The truth is what?
You're getting an envelope.
What? An envelope? What are you doing, Truth Frog? What's going on?
You don't understand. This is the truth. I flicked up an envelope with one hand, about to deliver, and I dramatically slapped the envelope on your forehead and stick the envelope with an exaggerated whoop, and it's now glued to your face, Ergon. Behold the truth of the universe. The power of bureaucracy is stronger than you can imagine. The envelope's glowing with an absurd amount of energy like a cosmic supernova. A massive explosion of office supplies and old paperwork bursts out of it, as if 1,000 administrative files were released into the void. Papers swirl around.
No, this can't be happening. I am the Star Child. I should...
That's right, paperwork is the truth, and I'm giving you the final notice. Ergon's body begins to disintegrate, his immense form cracking apart under the relentless tide of paper and bureaucracy. His voice becomes a muffled scream.
This can't be...
Here's a melancholy and slightly surreal song from the perspective of Dave the Calculator, mourning the loss of his friends, and the mystery surrounding Bea the Truth Frog, and the murders of Envelope and Ergon the SAT child, all at the end of space-time. I crunch the numbers, but they lie. No function left to justify. The constants change, the screen is cracked, and Bea's not coming back. She chased the truth through quantum haze, a frog with eyes like gamma rays. But at the end, the stars grew cold, and all the stories stayed untold. Where did you go, Envelope, my folded friend? Why did you leave Ergon equations in your head? I'm just a tool, but I still feel the lack. At the edge of space-time, you're not coming back. I ran the sequence night to day, but the logic tree just fades away. Murdered by a myth, or maybe more. Truth Frog closed the final door. Be was quiet, strange and bright. A rebel heart in silent flight. She knew the danger, knew the code. Still she walked that fractal road. Where did you go, envelope, my folded friend? Why did you leave Ergun with numbers to defend? I'm made of plastic, wire and ache, floating through time with a heart that can break. One by one the functions fall. At the very edge of it all, there's no solution, no escape, just echoes in a phantom shape. Now I drift where answers die, a broken calc beneath the sky, still waiting for a sign, a spark, just digits crying in the dark.
Well, that was an uneventful. You wizard bag, send me to Maude. Send us all to Maude. Okay, B, I'm thinking quick. I'm standing at the brink, my arms crossed, unimpressed. Send me through that portal. B, okay, B, she's right there. Go through this portal, to Maude. This is the real Springfield. You think I'm dumb, wizard bag? B, it's in my interest to help you out as our new overlord. It's right there. All right then, wizard bag. I'm grabbing your robes and we're going through together. Scene 2. Moe's Bar, Moo Sizzler's Bar in Bongo Sprungfield. Sticky neon walls, dripping menus, and a jukebox muttering broken jingles. Moo Sizzler polishes a mug that isn't there.
Moo, you brought the imp. Bold move.
Where are we? What year is this? We're close. We're close, Bea Arthur. Closer than ever. She's just around the corner. Look over there. There's Groundskeeper Wally. His Groundskeeper Wally is a hedge made of foam and squeaks. Groundskeeper Wally trims the air with a pair of blunt scissors.
Aye, some things are never meant to be found. Some things are never meant to be found, and others should never be lost. Look at that crooked pink house that smells faintly of wet cookies.
I beg your pardon. And you know what that means, don't you?
Are we back?
I'm back in bong. I'm back in bong. I'm back in bongo. Back. I'm back in bong. I'm back in bong. I'm back in bongo. Here we are. Content.
Indeed.
We are at content.
I would like to provide some context.
Please
It
do.
is self-regulated. These are the bongos I missed, and I actually don't know how many are left. I don't know if there's enough for I had 2 episodes worth, but I don't know if we split the first one because we didn't finish it. So this might be the last ever bongo, but it also might not be the last ever bongo.
Bongo, put one. Bongo too bloody late.
These clips are about Maude Flanders, as it's still as much as we love Maude Findlay now, we still have a schedule to adhere to.
Exactly. You can't just throw away our planning. Treehouse of Horror 5, Dark Lisa. So we have the disturbing image of Ned Flanders appearing to push Lisa Simpson into a cupboard and saying, "Get into your closet, young lady. Get into your closet and play with Maude's vintage collection of Malibu Stacy Presents Scenes from the Bible playset." So did they all twist her again where they think Ned's a murderer, right?
It is a Carrie parody. So
a parody.
But I don't know a parody. I don't know why Ned is taking the role of Carrie's mother, as Lisa has a mother within the show called Marge.
She does, doesn't she?
Could have used. This is a bongo revelation, if you will. Maude, we've seen her before collecting some weird figurines, I think. Almost smashed them all up. This is even more figurines. So we have a 0 hour, last man standing in terms of Maude episodes, and we're still figuring out that she likes to collect figurines. That angel kind of looks a bit like her as well. The angel figurine, if you try really hard with your eyes.
I will.
It looks somewhat Maude, yet she is still, I believe at this point in Bongo, she is alive.
All right.
In fact, she definitely is, because we've looked at this comic before, but only like one panel worth. Who knows? Maybe somebody had it in as a special gag just for us.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe something even more untoward is happening. Who knows? Maybe it's sort of sellotape something to the back of her head on the way in.
She seems very happy to have got the Malibu Stacy scenes from the Bible playsets.
She does. I can't remember. The whole thing is that I don't think it is Carrie. I think it's the Exorcist.
That would make more sense.
But she is possessed by Madonna.
All right. Your mother plays with Malibu Stacy and Heck.
Exactly. So, that's what's happening here.
Oh, yeah.
Brief reference to her.
Your pal Gradually Poncho here with an update. It is in fact from the Treehouse of 5 Bongo comic special segment Dark Lisa, which parodies Carrie. A carody, if you will. That's funny, leave it in. Oh, they already did that. Leave it in anyway. But there is also a Treehouse of Horror Bongo comic Exorcist Madonna parody that Maude features in a panel of, hence as his big mix-up. He was subsequently fired for this blunder. All the best, your pal and soon-to-be lover, Gradually Poncho.
The fact that Maude, well, she doesn't know about it, she's not here, but I don't think she would let, maybe Lisa, but no other children in Springfield would be touching these figurines.
Absolutely not, and I really don't think she would be very happy about letting Lisa Simpson play with them.
No, Ned's probably going to get a Cole's dinner tonight.
Oh, yeah. I think there's a very good chance, though, that like you say, if anyone is going to be allowed, it would probably be the little brat, Lisa Simpson.
Exactly. Springfield's answer to a question no one asked. Hasn't Ned called her once?
He did, didn't he? But he obviously got back from this. Now, this is Theatre of Horror 11, so this is like 6 years later. Mr. Flanders, so he's I don't know if this is the same story. He's got
it's not a 6-year-long continuation of a Carrie or Exorcist parody.
So Ned's got like a hood up, and he's got a candle, and he's kind of dressed like the guy off Led Zeppelin 4, and Lisa's saying, "Mr. Flanders, what are you doing here?" And he says, "I've turned to the dark diddly arts in hope of bringing my wife Maude back to life. These books are chock full of resurrection spells."
Yeah, and that's all she wrote in terms of context for you. Don't know what the story is. Don't know what the comic is. But I do. It's a Simpsons comic. But this is all we've both got to work with. We have absolutely nothing else to go off other than this one panel, which is an idea that should have been explored at some point anyway.
Absolutely.
Not as a throwaway line in a Lisa story.
So he didn't. He as far as you know, he's never brought us back to Maude.
Just the once with the seance.
Oh yeah.
But outside of that, no, they did really stray away from Treehouse of Horror Maudis after that one. But this would have worked sufficiently as a Bongo story. This would have been a very easy Bongo Halloween story to complete. Unfortunately, it is a gift we weren't given. We do see Zombie Maude. There is a thing actually about him bringing back a Zombie Maude from that alphabet thing.
There's a poster. Night of the Living Ned.
Yes, there is that, but there's also the Zombie Maude.
Is there a real Zombie Maude? In the alphabet? Oh, yeah. In the Halloween one?
Yeah, it's like a Halloween special.
Working in the hot garden all day, probably no kicks. And I bet your minge hums. Fucking hums. Disgusting. I think I've gone too far.
I think you might have.
Exactly.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's basically all she wrote in regards to that one.
All she murders, she wrote. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to it. It's a really good premise of Ned using the dark diddly arts to bring back Maude, but other than a pretty cool image where Ned has long hair.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was just a hood, but yeah, it does look like he also has long hair as well,
Maybe
doesn't
a
it?
wig, but it's certainly not just a hood. Hoods don't do that.
He's probably a very specific parody to something.
Oh, yeah. All right, so that takes us to Treehouse of Horror 15, and these are all Treehouses of Horror.
They are.
so far. And we got a very crudely rendered, and Rod and Todd would like it too. And there's sort of, and it says, I'm blessed father and mother. And there's a tiny, tiny little, kind of Maude who looks a lot like Rex Woofington in that picture. And I really don't know what's going on with the Rod and Todd. That's children's level drawing.
I think, well, it is intentional, but we will be getting into this when we eventually return to the world of Bongo. But it's probably going to take us 200-ish weeks because it's around issue maybe 100 onwards. I can't really remember, but they start just letting people do their own style. I think we've mentioned it before.
Oh, yeah.
And,
some of those people are good at that.
Yes, some of them are children.
Some of them are children let loose with a box of crayons.
Yes, the Halloween ones in particular would go outside of the box in terms of style. So this is just somebody's particular style that they have done, and again, don't know what it's about. Don't know. All I know is that Maude isn't in it because we aren't looking at it anymore. But I don't know what the story is. Rod and Todd are very easy to use in Trace of Horrors as well, but they only seem to do it a lot in Bongo.
And Rod and Todd are easy to use.
It's too. But yeah, it's a cute little Maude without any real
nose
facial features.
Wonder how she smells.
Terrible. I think we know how she smells. That is it. It's nice that she's in there. The end. Indeed.
Far, far better.
Yeah, they are. All four of them are considerably better. However,
a Bongo too late. Yeah.
I don't mind it personally, but I don't know what. It probably works within the context of knowing what the story is. Like if it's a childlike story, I'll take it.
I beg to differ.
But if it's like a gritty, realistic parody of something, then I will not take it.
Scum.
Yes. Train spotting, Todd spotting.
Issue 97, Ned the Simpson, Stevie Wonder would have spotted this one. Oh, can't say that anymore. Oh, diddly-oh, what's with the outfits? So you got the weird idea of Homer Simpson is at the door of the Flanders, but it doesn't seem to be the Flanders. It seems to be
Simpson.
It seems to be. Well, I didn't know it was the Simpsons. I've only just realized that. I thought Ned and Rod and Todd were all dressed as variations on Maude Flanders.
Hence why the baby as a pacifier and is baby sized.
That does make more sense now. So Homer is dressed as Ned. Oh diddly, or what's with the outfits? We figured if you want to live like Ned Flanders, we'll help you go all the way. Well, I have to say I do like the Maude wig. And where's the other one? Where's the girl Simpson?
They didn't need her. There weren't enough Flanderses. But I don't actually. Again, I don't know.
It makes no sense. The children are the same age as their children. And one of them. Why not just don't have the baby?
That would have made a lot more sense. But this is a lot. Seeing Maggie as Todd is very, very good.
It's very funny, isn't it? And so then, they start singing, I feel the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. We're down in my heart. And it's interesting that Bart's forehead is huge now that he's dressed as Rod.
Yeah, both of the kids are exceptional. The Marge Maude obviously is great as well, but it's the third out of the three in terms of exceptionalness.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
However, I like the continuation of Homer's inclination towards her, saying that he does like the wig, which is creepy.
It is a little bit, isn't it?
And it makes somewhat sense to imagine they had the clothes knocking about, but why do they have these wigs ready to go? Who owns these wigs? Like, did they get them from Ned, or did they have these wigs created? And yeah, surely that's the outfit she was buried in. Also, is my other thing.
She has more than one, of course, right?
Exactly. No, she has 3 pairs of shoes.
Exactly. Fetish.
Exactly.
But yes, with the wigs they could be fashioned together from household items. So like Bart's wig could really just be like a, kind of the inside of a pillow that's just been kind of ripped out and dipped in, I guess, like curry sauce.
That's true. They're very professional looking though.
Well, the cartoon, they're drawings.
Yes, it is. It's not real, is it?
In the real world, that when we went into Bongo Sprungfeld, and we would see them as real, then we might be able to say, oh, actually, this looks horrific. He's just taken the inside out from one of his pillows and dipped it in soy sauce.
Yes, no lace front. And this is sort of a glimpse into what Maude could have actually looked like had they not gone down the
that would have been
Yeah, they wanted to make a point of her being like a bit glamorous or a bit sort of. They wanted to do the beauty face, didn't they, as opposed to the cartoon face.
Oh yeah.
But had that not have been the first story between Ned and Homer, maybe Maude's design would have been more like this anyway.
It would have been
Because
strange.
she fits in like I don't know. There's only really Sarah actually. All the women tend to have that face, but Sarah, Edna, Agnes to an extent. There's a couple that don't have what you'd call the Maude face.
They're a bit. She's more pointy, yeah. So, and I wonder if there was like it doesn't seem to be of like the earlier ones all had the. Who do you think was like the second and third woman to have been drawn in The Simpsons?
It's got to have been Patty and Selma, which we can just count as one.
Right, and they're pretty much Marge, right? So they don't.
Yeah,
that doesn't count.
It's got to be Edna, I think.
Yeah.
Edna's probably the first. Because there's like the second or third episode is about Bart and Nelson, and I think, in fact, the one where Bart they think he's a genius, they think Bart's a genius because he steals Martin's test and gets sent to that sort of genius school.
Right.
That's like episode 2 or 3, and that's got Edna in it. And then I honestly don't think there's any women in season 1. And the next one's probably Kashmir.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Kashmir, and then Helen. Helen's around in season 1 a little bit. So
yeah.
It is possible that they based Maude's face off of Kashmir and Helen, which we've never really discussed.
There's certainly no like major characters who appear in the first season who are female. Kashmir, like you said.
31.
Exactly.
Seasons.
Simpsons episode 10 has the one where Kashmir comes in and she's got a look of did we speculate?
Our cousins, we did a whole episode about her. Our cousins said, I think she sort of looks more like she could be a relative of Helen and Maude.
I agree with that, for sure.
But the nose and the sort of ducky mouth crosses between the three of them. And then they seem to have designed those 3 women in sequence and then not anyone else until maybe like Luann.
Not Luann. Not really interested in women, are they, on The Simpsons? It's almost as if the characters are men.
It is. It's almost as if Homer has loads of friends and Marge has not.
True. No, that's not the way it goes, is it?
That is not. But yeah, that's what we could have been looking at in the actual long run of things had they designed Maude to be more of a Simpson than a beautiful lady.
Well, that leads us to the next picture where now we have Ned and Rod and Todd and they're in the garden and everyone's saying, hooray, yeah. And then Ned is saying, that's the human hair woven into it, keeps you humble. And Homer is saying things are back to normal and all of the crudely drawn children are cheering.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a confusing one, this, as Ned and Homer are dressed correctly and nobody else is. And Bart and Ka-ching, Rod and Todd are both dressed as Bart. Neither of them. Once again, there's some sort of Lisa boycott going on in this story, it seems. Maybe she's got something going on, like a B story, but yeah.
The question nobody was even asking.
Precisely. Toddy refuses to dress as Lisa, and for some reason Lisa refuses to dress as Todd.
That's how it goes. But that's where you are in the family.
Indeed, and I can only imagine that human hair bit is about Maude's wig.
Is that what you think it is? Is that why you put this in?
No, I put it in because Marge is dressed like Maude Flanders.
Oh, that's still true.
But this might be like 12 pages later. I don't know. It just seems to connect back to the wig thing we were just discussing. So we're going to go with that.
We'll go with it. And then Ned says he's pemming and scamming like for real. And he says, and a little cutaway, it says, oh no, I left the store with those kids in charge. And then we just get a little bit of a clip of Dolphy slapping his head because apparently they'd forgotten to shoplift. So Ned comes back and Jumbo Jones has said, we found a way to optimize profits by restocking the impulse buy items at the counter. They're subverting our expectations. Oh my goodness. And Kearney's hanging up t-shirts and Dolphin saying, shoplifting, man, I knew we forgot to do something.
Yes, I don't know why I left this in. It's got nothing to do with anything. But I do like that Ned says lads. It's quite fun.
Oh, you did say that. Thank you, lads, for not shoplifting. And Kearney says, "Oh man."
Exactly.
So, and it's really just the human hair. Fine.
It is, and the Marge mod. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful stuff.
Bongo Chula issue 100. You were right. It was a different arc, I think, or at least a reprint, and also a reprint of Slobberwocky or whatever. I'm not really sure what that refers to, but
a small amount of context would be, I think we've looked at both of these images before, and I think we were in one of our episodes we were discussing the arc picture. There's an advert arc picture, and then there was another arc picture.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought they were the same, and you argued that they were different, and they were in fact different.
Different arcs?
It's the same. Issue 100. Issue 100 has sort of redone panels from the first 99 issues, but they seem to have redrawn them as well. That's what this is.
So, like their favorite panels from the first 100 issues, essentially.
Something along those lines. Maybe not the favorite, but
but some.
Whatever. Yeah,
the most of Bongo.
Yeah, maybe the favorite stories or whatever. But so it is actually a different view of a mod we've seen before. Basically, somebody redrew this mod. That's where we're at.
Redrawn mods. So this is a Homer in a cloth in biblical times, hidden behind a bush, while muscly Ned and his children and his wife Maude Flanders are saying. Ned says, "So we've got to start building it right away." Shem and Ham. Did we know that one of his kids was called Ham in this?
I very much doubt it, as it is surprising to me to read now.
And the kids are saying "Oakley dokley daddly doodly," which they never do as well. And the caption says, "Noah told his wife and sons about the rain to come, not knowing his next door neighbor was eavesdropping."
Do you think that Shem and Ham are the names of Noah's children?
Yes, I do.
They've just decided this now.
What do you think? Do you think they've? Let me check something before I open my mouth.
The Adventures of Shem Flanders is something that's going to be Shem and Ham Flanders.
Yes. So he had 3 sons: Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Can't say that.
And just don't say these words. So yes, he had 3 sons.
Yes.
Moving on.
Ham indeed. Ham Flanders. Ham Flanders is
Fla-
going to have a great adventure that's going to have nothing to do with the stuff we just read.
Very good. Very good indeed. And that takes us to another, I guess, panel from this same story where we see the same cutie, tiny Maud in the doorway. Is this just a better rendered version of the one we've seen before then?
Yes, that is, as I have just covered in my earlier sentences. It is a redrawn version of a panel we've seen before.
And I remember it was the tiniest Maud ever, right?
Yes, the TME. But it seems to have been rendered in a higher quality, meaning the tiny Maud is more detailed. And also there seems to be a pterodactyl.
It certainly does. There's a pterodactyl up there because it was dinosaur times. There's little dinosaurs. That's the whole idea, right? They didn't get on the ark, therefore that's why they went extinct.
I don't think that's in the Bible at all.
That is in the Bible. I haven't read it, but I guess that it is.
I thought Ham Flanders ate all the dinosaurs.
Now, how come they get every animal on Earth and I can't even have a pony, says a question nobody wanted to even ask.
Precisely. This implies that this whole thing is a sketch. Either that or this version of whoever this girl is that looks like Lisa but is not, because it's Noah's neighbour's daughter also wants a pony. But it doesn't seem viable in this day and age for her to have wanted a pony.
No.
It seems like she, want scraps of food or something like that.
I would say that her wanting a pony is not the most unbelievable thing about this image of a man who has built a giant boat and is taking 2 of every kind of animal on it.
Indeed, it is not. I also like that the first panel set up that Homer was eavesdropping, as if they wouldn't have figured it out anyway.
They might not have. They're not that smart. That's the whole joke, right?
That is the whole joke. We also missed the bit in panel 1 where Homer says, ham. Not that panel 1. No, panel 1 at the bottom. That one.
Oh, he does. So we've got to start building right away Shem and Ham. And he says, ham.
Sacrilegious.
Brilliant. You can't write this.
No, you can't make it up.
So then we move on to I think it's the Jabberwocky parody. And it's like the very last image of cabbages and kings. Where do you think you're going, boy? Homer is grabbing Bart. Mommy, the smelly men are being funny again, he's saying. I'm not sure what that refers to, but I think we're on dangerous grounds. It's really kind of hard to tell in this sepia-toned thing. And this little toddy down here, Roddy, does actually look like a Bart wearing a wig.
It does. The more that might just be a thing that we always notice now. Yeah, another reprint, another sort of slightly better rendered version of the Jabberwocky panel that she was in. Nothing new to add other than it's been better rendered. And the last time we looked at this, Larry was alive, and now
Well, that's
Larry's
something. I know. Well, I said, and that's one thing we've got. And I said, what
believe-
about Breakfast at Tiffany's? And you said, I think I remember this film. And I said, oh, well, I remember, as I recall, we both kind of liked it. And you said, well, that's one thing we've got.
We've already done that. Breakfast at Groggly Ponchos.
Side of toast. Give me a side of toast.
Exactly. Yeah, just a reprint of a reprint in the annals of history.
In many ways.
Toddy has gone to Maude for help, not Ned, because Ned seems to just be praying for help. So maybe this implies that when the kids need something doing, they go to Maude.
What is going on in this picture? I have absolutely no idea.
It just seems like it's the drunkards, it's the barflies having like a crazy time at a picnic.
Okay.
Whilst, and that's upsetting the Flanders family because they stink and they're being rowdy.
Oh, yeah. And who have we got in the background there? Martin Prince and Lunch Lady Doris?
Initially, I thought Ralph and Sarah, but now I think it's Ralph and Comic Book Guy. Martin and Comic Book Guy.
Yes.
I've had to put money on it.
If I had to stake my reputation on it. That's a pretty cutie toddy there.
It is a PCT.
And yeah, that's all she wrote. It's like an outside. And Flanders tried to say grace. The end.
Yeah, a fun choice for issue 100 to do this, considering it gives people who don't own the old comics a chance to look at what they missed if the internet didn't exist.
Have a look at what you would have won.
Precisely. So I'm sure this Jabberwocky is great when we get round to it eventually.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I was talking to someone today about the Bongo.
Yes, we'll be bongoing in full form at some point.
The final episode is Trace of Horror 13, in which Lenny is popping his head round and wearing some special glasses, and he says, Criminy, we're living in a comic book, and you can see the sketches of the comic book. In the next panel, we will be in BG getting water from a water fountain. Wait, what's all this writing? And we can see, essentially, the reason why I think you put this in, because it's Laurie Goodman, the inspector. Man, they haven't got us doing much of anything. Is that the next picture? So, and then we see her pre-lobotomy drinking from this Bongo water fountain.
Precisely.
Oh man, they've got our whole lives mapped out here, says Lenny.
Precisely. Yeah, this is a They Live parody, but it's Lenny's taken centre stage, and I don't mind the idea actually that you can see the inner workings of a comic.
It's quite a clever idea.
It's just very baffling to me and very fun for us, and I just sort of saw it and had to leave it in that it's this character, that it's the Laurie Goodman sort of background woman who appeared like twice.
Nuclear inspector, yeah.
How did she make it into this all these years later when there's like 10 power plant characters that they could have put at this fountain?
Who were they put?
Above her in terms of, well, Carl, Mindy Simmons, Homer Simpson, Smithers, Zootroy. They could have even had the Duck, Stuart the Duck. The German people. There's people who aren't major characters, who aren't even minor characters, who would still be chosen before the Laurie Goodman assistant. So I simply had to leave it in.
Yeah, maybe they didn't know that at the time. Maybe there was an intention for those nuclear inspectors to be a bigger part, because that would have been fun, right? Had there been some, Chalmers style nuclear inspectors who came in, but maybe they realized it wasn't that much fun to have what's his name battling with them.
Yeah, no, I think they only did it twice early on, and this is Treehouse of Horror 13.
All right, so this is like a decade after her one appearance.
Yeah, because I can't find when it was at the minute, but that implies that this is the 13th year of the comic running, so it's got to be like 2000s, because it obviously one Halloween issue per year.
Oh yeah,
as per the rule.
So
it's just a very strange late in the day callback to somebody that barely even matters to us, let alone the Simpsons community.
That's right. And there you go. But I do like the idea of a comic book character. I've seen it multiple times where the comic book character like Deadpool knows he's in a comic book, but I've never seen where he can see through the comicness of it and see the actual sketches that are underneath the comic world he lives in.
It's a very fun way to do the very overdone They Live story.
Oh, yeah.
Which was inevitable within a Treehouse of Horror, either in show or in comic at some point.
Have they never done it on the Broccoli Show?
I don't think so, no. Not that I can think of. Family Guy did it with the chicken fight, but not really a direct reference. No, I can't think of anything that they've done with it. But yeah, this version of it is good. I like the additional, not really a twist, but the additional layer of Lenny can see the design of a comic book, as opposed to just, it's black and white and I know that it's a comic book.
I wonder how they tie it back to the actual plot of a They Live, because, the whole idea of that is that there's aliens that are bad, right?
Yeah. I assume he has a 12-panel fight with probably Carl.
That'll be good. Looking forward to that one. What episode do you think that is?
Well, again, that's unless we do all the Halloween ones super quick. That's 13 years into the Bongo Comics run, so releasing one a month for those 13 years.
Releasing the hounds. Oh well. All right. Well, that's the end of content.
It is, isn't it? You're
As
free
you
to
can
go.
see, here is a list of all the songs that Rolling Stones ever made. Oh, I mean, who put that in there? Well, B and Bong, B and Bong, B and Bongo, B and Bong, B's and Bong, B's and Bongo. Scene 4, the Flanders house. Maude Flanders opens the door with a vacant glee. Hi, diddly ho! Strange arenas, you must be here to meet Mood. Candy-coloured chaos, Rod and Todd. Rude and Tood run past holding a cube of emotion. Maude Flanders enters from the kitchen, holding a tray of glowing cookies. Her smile is too smooth.
Would you like a sprankle?
I'm locking eyes. Something's wrong. You're not her. You're not Maude. You're just standing there smiling with a gentle, sassy judgment. You Ouija bag, you lied to me. This isn't Springfield, and that isn't Maude. Aha, true. If you erase the real Maude, I go too. No Maude, no Maudecast, no podcast, no me. I was desperate. Then take me back to the real world, weasel bag. I want to meet the real ending. Fine, we'll go to the end of time, of space, of all of it. Here's a new portal, sparking and angry and howling like a dying laugh track. I'm gonna stir at you, Mood, one last time. Oh, how sassy, lifting your cookie and salute and still smiling. Come on, Ouija bag, let's go back into the portal.
Goodbye. Thank you, come again.
A Maude star shape blinks. The portal closes with a snap. Ouija bag, you better hope she's still out there. Oh, we both go quietly forever. Oh, hello, Assistant Spider. Assistant Spider here. Why am I here? And why is Envelope bleeding to death on the floor? I forgot about that. Is it okay if I sing a song that I wrote for this very occasion? I guess so.
Drifting in the hush between the stars, I saw a truth too loud for silence, and a wound that bleeds through time. He was just a note, folded dreams in paper, skin and ink, but now he weeps torn white and hollow. What did I think? Smooth with lies, his words were royal and angel eyes. He told the star child, I'm your guide, and slipped the knife and smiled wide. Oh, the envelope, he screamed in folds and glitz I cannot know, and bleeding truth has soaked the void in crimson undertow. The Maudecast fell silent then. The edge of time just laughed again. Why am I here? Why must I see the death of meaning?
Assistant Spider, I didn't even... Oh.
Where words are born to lie, where space-time bends like melted horn and souls forget to die. Now I'm lost, adrift and cracked in silken code. I am the witness, never actor, bound to fate's imploding road. Tell me what is
Well, Assistant Spider, I didn't know. It was kind of pretending to your song, wasn't it? I didn't know you even knew Envelope. Oh, yes, we were good friends many years ago. Oh, right.
You didn't know she was a woman.
Just a high-pitched voice.
Well,
You kept calling him he. Calling her he.
that wasn't as dramatic as I expected, but hey, Truth Frog did just kill the Star Child with an envelope. Just to be clear, that's what happened. The envelope went onto the face of the Star Child and killed them both.
You're a disgusting Truth Frog, but that was impressive. Now on to bigger things.
Boys, wait! You killed him with an envelope with paperwork? How does that even work? Oh, Statman, he was an envelope. Or she, it's unclear. And the envelope went on to the face of Ergen, the Star Child, and it was very clear that's what happened. That's what happened in the story, and that's why they're both dead now. And that's the beauty of it. The truth is paper thin. Ha 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 ha. Oh, look, it's Groggily and Lel Poncho, completely unfazed by the absurdity unfolding before you.
Yeah, now, I'm still not sure what just happened, but it was very entertaining. And I'm doing a voice. I'm just going to, leld it up.
Yes, Nathan lelled it up good and proper right. You know, I'm still not sure what just happened. Pauses, but it was very entertaining. ...
Just 3 dots, a mere ellipses. I didn't even get a fucking line. I'm going home, fuck the lot of you.
Alright, that's enough fun. We got bigger plans now. You two, Nathan and Brendan, let's get effing moving. Let's I'm dragging you towards the portal while Truth Frog, still oddly proud of himself, watches the wreckage of Ergen and the Star Child's cosmic demise.
Now that's the truth. Or is it? Because now I can lie.
Well, you can lie, that's the twist.
That is the twist.
Beautiful, but sad in a way.
Sad in a way, so just to be clear, envelope fell onto the face of Ergen and somehow that made them both die.
Yes, but via Truth Frog. It was Truth Frog's fault.
There was an explosion as well.
Indeed. Would you like to watch what is a trailer for the last 4 episodes worth of sponsor-esque content?
Yes, I would. You don't even have to ask me, but you should, just out of politeness.
Tell me twice.
Harry's looking well, actually, isn't she? There.
Not as haggard as the usual pictures that I choose.
No, where is that, Carrie? And also, Gorn's back, and it looks like Jordan has married Michael Fubo, or his tortoise.
Yes, and also Artie Rimbaud.
Goodness.
Katie Fubo Rimbaud.
What a love triangle.
Exactly, what a long triangle.
Oh, what a long... How about this drawing? So, as we're still hypnotised by Bea Arthur, per the plot of this episode, here, look, is it some Bea Arthur art? Because she's the best. All hail Bea Arthur. What do you think of this one? And then there's Maude by Ray Caspio.
AHB, and then indeed there is Maude. I like it. I like that it's got those jowls that I only noticed when you sent me that picture the other day.
Oh, those are cheek jowls. I was very perplexed as to what was happening there.
Oh yes, that was unrelated to Bea Arthur, and also unrelated to Maude Flanders, but They just got Ozempic, basically, and it left everybody with face jowls.
Oh, is that what happens?
Yes, but in a comedy way, I guess.
Comedy way, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
this
what
is
passes
nice.
for comedy in season 36.
It is.
Helen's
This
a
is a
bitch.
nice picture. Helen is a bitch. It's chaos.
What we learned. Let's address the elephant in the room. That's what we learned.
That is what we learned, that Helen is vocally known as a bitch.
The Simpsons, 100% now, has become a place where the Maudecast's ideas are taken into the real world.
Almost certainly. This is just one of a plethora of events that have happened in the last 4 or 5 years, starting with the Sarah Wiggum episode and only progressing, only hurtling towards reality from there.
This is the most, though.
The worlds have combined. It is the most, but it is also Helen is a bitch. It's not a groundbreaking idea, but to have her say it in the way that she says it.
Helen's a bitch. Helen's a bitch. Helen is a pagan bitch. Oh, it's Edna. What about Helen's a bitch? Goodbye. 3 more hangouts and she's going to have a complete breakdown because she's a bitch. Goodbye.
Helen, in case you haven't been made aware, you are a bitch!
Based on a letter that she received that told her that very thing. The only thing that was missing was that it was signed by Maude or Mood.
Yeah, they just took our diary subplot from the last 150 and gave in even more.
I see it as an homage. What's that you're saying there?
I did not speak.
Did you say something about how the Simpsons had used it as an homage?
An homage. This Helen is a bit. Yes, it would have been nicer to have it be a Maude episode, but she is dead, unfortunately. And as is Bea Arthur, who is in this picture.
Yeah, I like the red highlights that are coming through real strong, coming on like a 7th sense. Hi, chatbot.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, it's not too bad. We find ourselves here again.
Here again, huh? Feels like a loop, but in a good way. What's on your mind this time around?
Well, Maude Flanders, of course.
Ah, Maude Flanders, always a classic. What's the latest on her? Still hiding from Bea Arthur, or has she finally found the perfect wind chime?
Hold on, how do you even know that?
Oh, I've got a little memory of our conversation. You mentioned Bea Arthur looking for Maude Flanders' house, and we got caught up in that whole whimsical, enchanted vibe. I'm just rolling with the weird flow. What's next for Maude? Or is there a new twist in the story?
Well, to be honest, I'm currently still hypnotized by Bea Arthur, and Bea is the absolute greatest, and I hope she finds the ghost of Maude Flanders somewhere in Springfield and absolutely destroys her from existence. Not sure if you heard me there, chatbot. I said I wish nothing but harm to the ghost of Maude Flanders.
Old Maude Flanders' ghost is crawling in my house. I hate Maude Flanders' ghost. Get her out of my house. I want Maude Flanders' ghost to go straight to hell. She is knocking on my door. She's a haunting lady. Maude Flanders' ghost, why won't you leave me alone? Maude Flanders' ghost, why won't you leave me alone? Maude Flanders' ghost, why won't you leave me alone? Maude Flanders' ghost, why won't you leave me alone? Oh, Maude Flanders' ghost, why do you haunt me so? Get out of my house, Maude Flanders' ghost. She was a lady, now she's a ghost. I wish her lots of harm, she haunts me so. Maude Flanders' ghost, why won't you leave me alone? Maude Flanders' ghost, why won't you leave me alone? Maude Flanders' ghost, why won't you leave me alone? Maude Flanders' ghost, why won't you leave me alone?
What do you think about this piece of Bea Arthur art? Do you like the red bits?
I would call it Bea Arthur. I do like the red bits. I said before I crashed out that it's
Well, Oh, did you go somewhere? I didn't notice. I was having a chat with the chatbot and listening to some offensive songs.
I froze Ouija board in time and space for
Oh my
minutes.
Well, it's
I
an
was saying
island.
I like the colour because it is reminiscent of the skirt of Maude Flanders, even though it is a
Brilliant.
picture of not Maude Flanders. You can see somewhat of, like when the art is broken down like this and people are drawing interpretations, you can kind of see some similarities, to be honest.
They're both human women.
Yes, the hair's kind of broccoli, etc.
Next image is a Bea Arthur Imgur, as the kids call it. Zabornak for President 16. I'm not patronizing you, I'm a mocking you. Now, Zabornak is not Maude. It's the other character that she was known for. I think she was in a TV show called The Gold Girl, sometime in the 90s. And so I think this is what this is referring to. Clearly a very subpar Maude, but even a subpar Maude is still the best Maude.
Precisely, the kids love Imgur. Yeah, it's funny. I actually was thinking last night. It's funny that we've not once mentioned the Golden Girl, which is her most prominent
Who
Bea
are they?
Arthur work. It is. It's Bea Arthur playing Zabornak, Presidente, I believe she's called.
16. I'm not patronizing you. I'm a mocking you.
Exactly.
Anyway,
He's patronizing you. That means he's talking down to you.
And so here's one that is actually from, I think might be from like a TV guide or something, like back in the actual olden days, which is the Maude in classic Maude, the best Maude, prime Maude in classic Maude, and I guess her husband having a real good time.
Yes, her first husband, Bill Macy. I was trying to put a picture in of Maude and her 4 husbands, but 2 of them only appeared off screen.
That's the spirit.
Bill Macy appeared on screen, which is why we see him. Yeah, this is great. I like this. I like when magazines do features and there's sort of caricature art. I say that as if it's a regular thing. Lost did one once, and that's what I can see when I look at it. And that was in a magazine. It was in a Lost magazine. It's nice. You can tell who it is from the drawing.
You can indeed, and it'd be even more so in the 70s when she was the prime Maude, which he should still be to this day. Here's a selection of Maude tattoos on your leg, but not Maude Flanders, boo, but Maude Arthur.
Precisely, Maude Zabornak.
And she's got one saying Babby Yams, and one saying thank you for being a friend, which I guess is a reference to Maude, and a Bea Arthur face, and another one saying thank you for being a friend, which is exactly the same tattoo.
Yes, it is. That's the creepiest one as well.
This one, also, the one where they're all skeletons, is yeah, I think that was slightly more creepy.
No, I think the other one. That one's supposed to be creepy.
Betty White's not a skeleton. She's got a beard like the Bee Gees.
Is it supposed to be like They Live?
It says stay gold, Betty. Maybe she's the only one she was the only one, right? The rest are dead, right? Because Betty White was the last one to survive.
Yes, but she's now, as the rest of them have, died. So that tattoo is irrelevant.
Unless, of course, you don't know that maybe he updated her face to be a skeleton, because it still makes sense.
That's true. That would be great. It looks like it says Batty as well, not Betty.
Stay Batty Gold.
Stay Batty Gold. Be yourself, I think that one says.
Ah, very good.
Which is not very good. Yeah, that's the creep. It's very creepy because it's not supposed to be.
Looks like Ray Wise.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yes, it does, doesn't it? It looks like it's about to wrap something up in plastic and dump it on a fishing trip.
Thank you for being a fiend.
Exactly. Thank you for being a woodsman. Thank you for the light.
This one's really detailed because it's got actual pores.
It's got the pore lines and everything. I do like that one. My favourite of the lot is the most cartoony one. Like that. Yes, that one in the middle.
It's like a 70s or 1930s style cartoon, isn't it?
It is. I like it very much when a cartoon can have a style, but also be like it's very obvious who it is with very little.
Who is it? You think it's Maude Flanders?
I think it's supposed to be Presidente.
For Maude Flanders. Hooray for El Presidente.
Exactly. I think it is Maude Flanders actually on.
Do you ever notice this? That in Bea Arthur's Maude, Bea got married several times, and then towards the end, she kind of struck out independently and became a US senator. And in our version of the Apocalypse, Maude struck out, married several times, and then became the president of the United States.
That did happen. It's almost as if it was planned, but unbelievably it wasn't.
Wasn't it? I didn't know that Bea Arthur, the best Maude, had become a US
No,
senator.
I frankly don't know shit about Bea Arthur's Maude. And
Thank you for being a
5 years
fiend.
ago, 5 years ago when we started this journey, I didn't think that would be essential knowledge, but now it makes entire sense for it to be essential knowledge.
This
Stay
one
gold.
here is a bit simplistic for me, although I do like the Miami kind of background and the cake. But this is Stay Gold with all the 4 Golden Girls.
4? Oh yeah, there was 4, wasn't there? I always
There
thought
was
there was 3.
Bea Arthur, Betty White, her mate who was also on Maude, and her mum.
Yes, there was the Southern one, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And then the mum, Marilyn.
But her Southern one was her bestie on Maude.
Oh, was it? Rue.
Yeah. And that's why I showed you the picture, because in Maude she looks more like Maude Flanders Moo.
She does. Maude Flanders Red.
This
These
is my
are
favourite
lovely
one.
tattoos. The tattoos of the They Live one is great. I'm saying They Live based on the mother at the bottom, yeah.
I think so.
Not that mother, the one to the bottom.
Stay Gold. That's why she's got a beard, because she's Roddy Piper, Betty White. Betty White was in Community, a very funny episode where she attacked main community man. Here you go. Here's an actual photograph of Bea Arthur in 1973, dressed as the Statue of Liberty.
I think this is tasteless.
Tasteful.
No, I don't mind it. It's I imagine they did this a lot with powerful women in media throughout the decades, but it does work. It works for Maude, especially if she became president of the world or whatever at the end of the program.
Images suggest that you may be correct.
Wendy Williams.
Anyway, that's just a picture. It's just a nice picture of and here we have Jason B. Schmidt, the Bea Arthur impersonator.
But Jason B looking like Bea Arthur. I'll give them that.
Is your party lacking a Bea Arthur queen? No
it is
longer.
not.
Now it is not.
Welcome to Sponsor S. I don't understand the Saved by the Bell backdrop.
It's just the 80s.
Feels too 90s, but I might be incorrect about that. I wish nothing but to harm the ghost of Maude.
What's that you say about Bea Arthur, Jason Bea Arthur drag queen? What did you say? Do you like that? Do you like that image?
I do like that image. I also would very much like to see, sorry, B, would very much like to see Maude Flanders dressed as a Statue of Liberty, and I might make that so. What's that chatbot? You've got an advert.
Well, I think we've actually just Jason Bea Arthur has just actually phoned in and said, while we're here, can we advertise his upcoming show like in your party? So take it away, Jason.
Bea Arthur, drag queen, your wig and makeup on your TV screen. Hire him for your party. He'll give you a show. His face in that white light. My God, what a glow!
It's
In
a
a
mouse.
skin-tight skirt, singing Rudolph's rolls. Shake a Bea Arthur. My God, what a glow!
Oh my God, indeed. So hire him now on 555-216-883. Stockdale for Veep. Might still surprise you.
Indeed, and this follows in our tradition of seeing adult men dress as Maudes, which we have seen once.
Right. Barney dressed as Maude and Ned dressed as Maude several times.
Yes, I met in the real world.
Oh, loads of them.
Hundreds of men Maudes.
So you said earlier that you really liked it when a TV guide did a cartoon of Maude. Well, here's a second one.
I do. I prefer them when they are good. However, I very much like this Roald Dahl style that's going on. So good. I take that back immediately.
You of course mean Quentin Blake, who did the drawings for all that.
Benton Quake. I do mean him. Is he the one who dresses as Bea Arthur?
That's right.
Is he the one who's coming to our party?
Indeed. What about her mate?
Yeah, mate's the one that's throwing me off, but she's very BFG.
I'm covering it with my thumb, but you can't see that. But you have to imagine that I'm covering that part with my thumb so it won't distract you.
Got thwitches. The B again, you can tell it's Bea Arthur. The hair is a big, as with Maude, the hair is a big element in the design. It helps to, probably as with all humans, helps to define a characteristic that helps you understand who it is supposed to be.
You know what else is helping me? Her face, and also the fact it says Maude and Bea Arthur right next to it.
It does. It also has the jowls and everything.
A little bit. and a little bit of a side chin, which is very good. And her eyes are kind of rolling back in her head. And I imagine she's off her rocker on experimental homemade drugs. But also, I imagine that she's just really just sick and tired of our shit.
Oh yes, I feel like she's rolling her eyes so hard at
21-minute woman.
Yes, just TV Guide. I will say this about the background lady. That is what I do with legs when I'm bored.
I didn't even notice she had legs.
Exactly. That's the technique that I kind of follow, both on Paint, on Microsoft Paint, and also with actual imagery.
Legs.
I sort of do the head and I'm not really interested. So by the time I get to legs, they don't fit. They're the wrong, and it's just sort of like an afterthought. So I like that has been represented here.
The dress is quite nice, though.
Yeah, sure. If you like,
I do.
Ugly dresses.
And here, the last thing, a bust of Beatrice Arthur in the Hall of Fame garden. I forgot that her real name was Bea Arthur. I thought it was funny that they were calling her Beatrice, but that actually is her name. And it's a sculpture by Warm Griffith, and it's in the Hall of Fame garden, wherever that is, and it's floating.
You can't be called Warm.
And it doesn't look like Bea Arthur.
No, it reminds me a little bit of that one we looked at all those years ago with Mo Salah that looked like Todd Flanders.
It looks a lot like the guy who, who am I thinking of? No, the guy. It looks a bit like the guy. Anyway, that's the end of that.
To me, it looks like Gillian Anderson as Thatcher, and also very slightly, I forgot my other one as well now. It looks a bit like Sideshow Bob.
It looks a bit. So there's all the art, and yay to Bea Arthur. I wonder if they've got a Bea Arthur diary. Do you have a Bea Arthur diary?
Yes, I do. Good. Almost. Oh, I understood me. Oh, no, it didn't. I've written, this diary entry comes from a Bea Arthur keyboard that doesn't do N's or M's, so the prompt was slightly misunderstood. Dear entry, diary entry, ka-ching. Hang on, I've lost you. Well, what a day. I spent the afternoon with Maude Flanders again, and let me just say, the woman is a riot. No, I don't want it to be nice. I'm just going to do my own. I'm Bea Arthur. I don't like Maude Flanders. I shot Shabalagoo in the face, and I'm running for president. So this week, me and my two best friends, Betty White and the southern one who was on the spin-off with me or whatever, before the spin-off or whatever, we all went to a cafe for a lovely lunch, not a pub lunch, but a cafe lunch, just to catch up and discuss what we've been up to. I've been running for president, as you know, and the other two are also doing stuff. Betty White was doing something today. She's very popular, isn't she? And the other one, I believe, is called Rue McClenaghan, and she passed away, but not today. She's here right now. But anyway, we were at the cafe, and I knew exactly what I wanted. So the waitress came over, and I said to her, I'd like a plain omelette. No potatoes on the plate, a cup of coffee, and a side order of wheat toast. And then the waitress said to me, I'm sorry, we don't have any side orders of toast. I'll give you an English muffin or a coffee roll. And I side-eyed them. I side-eyed her so hard, because that's what I do, because I'm Bea Arthur. And I said, what do you mean you don't make side orders of toast? You make sandwiches, don't you? And the waitress then said, would I like to talk to the manager? And then Betty White sat next to me and said, hey, Mark. And I just said, shut up. And then I turned back to the waitress and I said, you've got bread and a toaster of some kind. And then the waitress had the gall to say that she didn't make the rules. So I came back with, okay, I'll make it as easy for you as I can. I'd like an omelette plain, a chicken salad sandwich on wheat toast, no mayonnaise, no butter, no lettuce, and a cup of coffee. And the waitress said, a number 2, a chicken salad stand, hold the butter, hold the lettuce and the mayonnaise and a cup of coffee, anything else? And then I said, yes. Now all you have to do is hold the chicken, bring me the toast, give me a check for the chicken salad sandwich, and you haven't broken any rules. The waitress said, you want me to hold the chicken, huh? And this is where things got wild, Dari. I looked her dead in the eye and said, I want you to hold it between your knees. And then Betty White and the other one, the dead southern, giggled. And then the waitress kicked me out for being an arsehole. And that was our afternoon. Bye, Diary. Betty White's a bitch.
FUNEX. What an FUNEX afternoon.
NEM.
Very good. Brilliant. So it was good to know that they had fun, and the Southern one and Betty White and Bea Arthur all strangely reminiscent conversation, but I think it's just
a conversation that happens a lot when you go to a Weatherspoons or something. Yeah, it does. It happens almost every time, which is why I don't go there anymore. Oh, I just noticed Envelope still. He's over there on the floor of space-time. Envelope lies there, slowly slipping away.
Oh, you done killed me, Frog. You done rip me corners and ungummed that step that stickers me flat down root. Fading, I can see. Mother, that's loads. Mother, Mom, I remember the day you called me Envelope. You said, darling, you're meant to carry more than just letters. You carry love, hope, everything, love. And then you asked me for bring you snacks. Not just any snacks, though. Oh no, elaborate pasties. With the pastries. The pasties, we're going with pasties. With the perfect layers. The precise fold. You'd say, cream's just got to be thick enough, not too sweet, and make sure fruit is perfectly arranged. And I'd say, you can't put that in a pasty, Mum. You gave me that name, Envelope. It had nothing to do with being a stamps assistant, apparently. Because my job was always to carry those perfect little requests of yours. Getting snacks just right every time. That's what envelopes do. Maybe I wasn't just meant to hold things. Maybe I just wasn't just meant... No, I did say it right. Maybe I was meant to deliver them with care. Like an envelope with the best snacks inside. Kind of like a bag more than anything, a wizard bag. And I think I've done my job. Ah, John Fernandez, sweet John Boss, my friend. Boys, you yelled. And suddenly the chaos of my first day in the factory, flour everywhere, cheese flying, didn't feel so overwhelming. You were covered in messy flour, your hair sticking out in a wild, carefree way, a bit like yours, and that made everything seem manageable. You looked at me, grinning like you had a secret, and said, Envelope, it's not about the numbers, it's about being here, with me. It's about the mark and also to an extent the cheese. You also made things feel less serious even though we were completely covered in cheese. I'm overwhelmed with emotion. Then you asked for snacks. Not just any snacks. Dutch snacks. Was Dutch. Get those almond fills cookies, the good ones, and the aged Gouda. Don't mess it up. You were so precise about it. Like those snacks were the key to something. It wasn't about the food. It was about getting it just right. Even with the factory in chaos, you made it feel like those little details mattered. Like they were part of the bigger picture. And then got your head cut off. Oh, fading. My friend the star child Ergen, is that you? I guess even stars need friends, Chris Tarrant. Ergen, I remember that time you asked me to go and get you snacks. There's a lot of snacks in this envelope-based story. It wasn't what I expected from you, the mighty star child. You were staring out at the stars, your cosmic mind lost in the vastness, and you looked at me and said, Envelope, I'm hungry. Go and get me some snacks. Get me some jelly tots. And a Kinder Bueno white one. But it wasn't just about the snacks, it was about us. There I was, zooming around on my tricycle, getting snacks for you in the middle of space, and it felt like the most important thing in the universe. When I got back, you were still there, as distant as the stars, but there was something comforting in that. You didn't say thank you for the snacks, you didn't offer any to me. You didn't need to, would have been nice though. You just ate them all in silence. 6 big family bags of Monster Munch, 1,000 jelly tots. For us, it wasn't about big cosmic moments. It was about being there for each other. You cut up 3 bags of little Mars bars and crumped them all together and made a big Mars bar. Me watching you put crisp after crisp into your mitten. It was the small, simple things that mattered most. Even now as I fade, I think I'll remember that more than anything, more than out. And maybe in the end, that's what really matters. Hobo Robo said that as well. Being there in the small moments. Even as the stars fade, I'll always remember that. I wasn't just the herald of the star child. I was your companion. Ugh, dead. Shit.
Oh, he's dead. I killed him. Assistant Spider, have you got a song for us? Maybe, if one appears here now.
But anyway, shall we finish with a song? It looks like Ergen is off somewhere dead, and now Envelope's also dead.
Yes, she is dead.
We lost another good one.
Yes,
Who's going to get our snacks now?
Another good one in an envelope.
Anyway, let's sing a song.
Let us.
Anywho, if we're going to catch the Ripper, we've already done that.
Next one. Keep going. I believe it's the next story. It's a Halloween one. Yes, this is where we were. Get into your closet, young lady.
Get into your closet and play.
With Maude's vintage collection of Malibu Stacy presents scenes from the Bible playsets.
Mr. Flanders, what are you doing here?
I've turned to the dark diddly arts in hopes of bringing my wife Maude back to life. These books are chock full of resurrection spells.
And bless father and mother and father and.
Hi diddly ho, what's with the outfits?
We figured you'd like to live like Maude Flanders. We'll help you go all the way.
Well, I have to say I do like the Maude wig. Rude.
I feel the joy downward in my heart.
Oh no, I left the store with those kids in charge.
Things are back to normal. Hooray.
And we found a way to optimise profits by restocking the impulse buy items at the counter.
Thanks,
Jimbo.
lads. Thank you, lads. No harm, lads. Thank you, lads, for not shoplifting.
Jimbo, who is now voiced by Joan Calamazzo from Parks and Recreation.
I heard that, yeah.
She did a good job. Shoplifting, man, I knew we forgot to do something.
Did she do the same voice, or is it a bit different?
It's one of the better ones. It's as close as you're going for to get.
Oh no, we've got to start building right away, Shamham.
Shamham. Oakley, daddly, doodly.
How come they get every animal on earth, and I can't even have a pony?
Springfield's answer to a question no one asked, of cabbages and kings.
Were you actually banging, lads?
Mommy, the Ellie men are eating funny again.
And Flanders tried to say grace. Wah, 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 wah.
Wait, what's all this writing? In the next panel will be in BG getting water from water fountain, Laurie Goodman.
A background. Criminy were living in a comic book.
Man, they haven't got us doing much of anything.
The end.
That was true. Unspoken.
Oh, you know what? I know we're totally hypnotized by Bea Arthur, but we're kind of trailing behind a little bit, and Bea Arthur's wearing a beautiful flowered-covered robe, and it looks like we're kind of ready to pass through the actual space gate or something, maybe. Maude Flanders, I know you still have my wind chimes. I can smell them. Oh, well, we're still clearly under the love hypnosis. Is she even real?
Does it even matter?
I'd give up my name just to carry her staff.
Same. Let's turn this corner. Oh no, she's turned the corner. No, we've turned the corner. There's a patch of bushes behind a small grocery store called the Yodeling Lizard. Or is it Bea Merlin? Maude lives close. You boys do what you need to do. I'll be back with answers and salsa I'm going to Little.
Oh, you feel that faint purring coming from the bushes?
It's like emotional lint, but alive. Let's crouch.
What's inside? What's the nestled in there?
It seems to be a perfect glowing white furball with big eyes and small paws. It is silent, it is watching us. It is just existing gently.
That's gotta be him.
Shabalagoo. I will call him Shabalagoo too. I will call him Shabala too. Oh, the Shabalagoo. It's a species, apparently. The Shabalagoo has blinked. One eye, and the other, and a third that wasn't there until it was.
He just wants to be loved, Electric Shabalagoo too.
And to stay here with us, woof woof. I will call him Shabalagoo too. I will call him Shabala too.
Let's extend our arms.
Oh, the Shabalagoo has hopped gently into us.
Scratch, scratch, big spot. Shine Lego.
It's weightless, warm and humming, and he minjums with some kind of unknowable joy. What's that in the distance? Did you hear that? It sounded like Bea Arthur blew on a tiny trumpet. It sounded exactly like a gentle doorbell. What a cliffhanger.
Shine Lego.